It's 8:45 p.m. on February the 7th of 2022. So what happens to us when history is destroyed? What happens to us when we can no longer look back on the past to see who we were and where we came from? What happens to us as a society? What happens to us as a race of humanity? It's unknown, but yet it is known. Because when the history is erased, when the past is forgotten, it's not good. I don't think it's good, you all. I really don't. Let me come over here and turn on my YouTube channel while I've got you all on here. I'm looking over here. I really am. I'm going to make sure I've got this going. You just hold on right there, you all. Yes, yeah, I got to looking at destroyed artifacts of history, destroyed pieces of history, ancient history is what I was looking at. Hello there, Bang Bang Mucka Bang. How are you doing, Bang Bang and Apple Brooks? Hello, everyone. Yeah, this is, we're going to look at it because there was a period in time not too far back, several years back, perhaps maybe 10, 15 years back maybe, where a lot of history got destroyed. And you didn't even have to live in that part of the world to see the destruction that happened on an unimaginable scale because the media blasted it all over the place, you all. They blasted it all over the place. And it's in the past, yet I remember watching it, and I'm sure you all do too. Yes, peace and blessings, everybody. Yeah, let's. I'm gonna show. We're gonna do something really simple. We're going to the images right here, and you can see what happened when ISIS took over. We're gonna look at this. ISIS destroys ancient artifacts in Iraq. So look at that. And we know who this looks like, right? The Anunnaki. Enlil and Enki. This is like ancient Mesopotamia and stuff. It's a very historical, very rich area in archaeology and history and of the past. A very, very yeah, look at this. They destroy more ancient artifacts in Iraq. So we're going to look at these, and I hope that's okay, you all. That's what I feel led to do. That's what I feel led to do. Destroying the ancient city in Iraq. The destruction of the city of Nimrod. Well, I would have liked to seen it. I really would have. Shocking video destroys ancient. Hey, isn't that Enki's hand? Isn't that the Anunnaki's hand holding something, you all? That's what it looks like. Oh, they knocked his hand off, you all. That's not nice. The Assyrian city of Nimrod. They destroyed it. I've never seen these pictures. All I remember is, look at defacing that. You realize how long that might have took. They ransacked the museum and destroy 2,000-year-old artifacts is what they do. Destroy 2,000-year-old artifacts. So I want to open that up. If you're just tuning in, thank you for joining. Good evening, everyone. Yeah. Let me see this. So And they were saying that some of this stuff is was not real. Well, I'm not going to show that. That's just yeah, they were saying some of the stuff was not real, that it was all make-believe. I don't think so. I really don't think so, you all. I think it's kind of sad. Are these pictures big enough for you all to see? Look at that. They destroyed ancient tombs. Ancient tombs. Look at that, you all. Out there in the desert. Right here. Where is this going? Wow, now that's a nice big picture of ancient ruins right there. It is. Look how small they are. Oh, wow, you all. We can zoom up and look at this area. We can look at it. The nice columns and stuff like this. I wonder what it looked like back in the time before it got destroyed. You know, it took a long time to, I think, put this to where it was. But then, yeah, just like, boom, that's no more right there. That's no more. Selling artifacts on the black market. Somebody had to profit from all of that, wouldn't you think? I think somebody or a group of individuals really profited big time behind the scenes. I do. As with everything, you all, as with everything, more ancient artifacts in Iraq. Now, I don't know who this was. Do you all know who that was? I love archaeology. I really do. I wouldn't say love. I'm not in love with it, but I really, I love beautiful architecture. Yeah. Who is this supposed to be? Because I'm not certain. Yeah. I'm not certain who this individual was right there. Let me do this. Yeah. If you're just tuning in, look at that. Look. Now, what if the Anunnaki did look like this? Had an animal body and the wings and a head. What if it did? Yeah. What if it did? Now, let me tell you something. This is serious, is what's happening, you all. It really is. It's really serious. This is no time for jokes. It really isn't. Yeah. Life's not a game, and destruction of ancient artifacts and history, it's really not funny. It's quite sad. It really is sad. It's sad. Yeah. Well, maybe one day you might see that down the street. You might. What was this? The ancient Palmyra. Oh, there was something inside there and they destroyed it. Whatever was inside that tomb right there. Yeah. All that remains is the top half of them. That's it. Just the top half is what remains. Historic statues from, let's see where this takes us. Statues and contraband from Palmyra, Syria. And guess what? Do you know how long they let that, they kept making that go on and 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 on. It's like it's never ending. It's never ending. So, it's not good. It's not. Let me just put this back to this. I don't like seeing all of this stuff going on and on. Oh, you see that right there? Yeah. Well, I'm certain we're going to see a lot of things. We can probably see some of this in here. And They destroyed the ancient treasures in the Mosul Museum. But I think, you know, they had beautiful palaces too. I think that was in Iraq or something. Absolutely beautiful palaces and stuff. They believe 3D printers can recreate. Well, it's beside the fact. It's beside the fact now if 3D printers can recreate things. It really is totally beside the fact. I would like to see these better right here. Wouldn't that be a sight to see all of this ancient engravings? That really would have been a sight to see. Regardless, it really would have. Knocking that off of there, it took a long time. You know, just think of how long that took. But what if they had help from extraterrestrials or otherworldly beings to, you know, put this architecture up there very fast? They could have. We don't know, because history gets destroyed. You know, it does. It gets destroyed. History gets destroyed. They destroyed the Roman amphitheater in Syria's Palmyra. What a beautiful area. They destroyed it. I don't like war. I really don't. 3 ancient tombs. Now this video may not be for everyone. I just wanted to show some of this. Look at that. Nimrod. The ancient city of Nimrod. Really, why would they want to destroy that? Look at that. Just went in there and just destroyed it. Just like that. Yeah, well, nobody wants to have 3D printed food. That's 3D. Oh, look at that. I don't even know what that would have been, except a lion. It's got a great big, or a, some kind of a animal like that. It's got great big feet. That's kind of sad if you look at it. Isn't that sad? They took its whole entire body off, and that's all you can see of it is the body. Yeah, it's beautiful, and they did. They bulldozed it. They bulldozed it. They rent it. Wow. Replicas of artifacts destroyed. Isn't that sad? Just like that. Ancient statues. They said, oh, they were fakes. Well, now they could have been fakes, because somebody could have took off with the real statues. They really could have. They could have took off with the real statues. And, you know, I think I heard there's cities, tunnels all underground in that area. So they could have very well had vehicles back, probably like big old semi things, flatbed trucks, to where they could went in and got stuff and just moved it all underground. They could have done that. They really could have. I'm not saying that they did. What was I supposed to be looking at, you all? I'm not saying that they did, but they could have. Look at that. That is so amazing. All of this. It really is. 3 resets so far. We're probably looking at a 4th if we survive it, right? Looking at a 4th if we survive it. Ancient city of Nimrod. There had to be a reason. There really... Oh. What was that? There's hardly nothing left. Did you all see all of the pictures that they had? Yeah. I could spend all day in a museum. Whoa, look at that. Yelda Korespad Court. then somebody's got their head missing. That's what we saw. We saw the hand, but then they took the head off. Didn't they do that to like a queen, a woman queen or something? They knocked her head off and stuff. Isn't that what they did? Replicas. They got replicas. That's the Anunnaki. You think the Anunnaki like them doing that to their statues, you all? Just think about that. If the Anunnaki were there, do you think they would have went in and did that destruction that they did? Do you think they'd been brave enough to go in on their little destructive thing if the Anunnaki were really there? I don't think they would have. I think they would not even had a chance. I really think they wouldn't have had a chance at all. But I think none of it went unnoticed. I really feel none of it went unnoticed at all. It's just shocking photos show how an ancient city was destroyed. Well, they were allowed to go and destroy unabated. They could have stopped them. They really could have stopped them. I really think they could have stopped them all if they wanted to. But I guess they didn't want to. And it is in the past. Look at this. Satellite photo confirms they destroyed it. It was this, and then it's that right there. Arab poet. They knocked his head off. Look, they knocked his head off. That's not nice. It really isn't nice. Why do you want to knock his head off? That's not nice, you all. Do you think that's nice? To knock somebody's head off? It's really not at all. This, yeah, let's see this. That is like so interesting. Seeing that, it really is. Let's see this right here. This is what this used to look like. It had the gate to the city, and they destroyed the gate to the city. Yeah, it's heartbreaking. Oh, that's really neat. Let's see what this one looked like right there. No, I don't want to save it. I just want to click into it. No, I don't want to do that. I just wanted to look at this closer up and see what there is to see on this Anunnaki. I think the Anunnaki is a big part of the past, big time, massively. I'm looking at a photo and I don't like it. I don't like this photo, right? Not this one, but look. Aliens preparing to eradicate ISIS after threats. Well, see, why do you want to do that? That's just not right. They have a lot of this one. 10 historical sites destroyed and why they matter. Why do they matter? Let me see if it clicked into it. It may not, you all. Okay. Well, let's look at this. Khorasan, the 2,700-year-old city in northeastern Iraq, known for its colossal statues of winged bulls with human heads. Winged bulls with human heads. Okay, but that's what we were looking at. The Iraqi Antiquities Director, Rashid, told the city walls were raised and the sum of the elements of the temple, but we don't know the exact extent of the damage. Looting took place and then the razing. Why does it matter? Because the Assyrian king Sargon II built his palace here between 717 and 706 BC. The paint was still preserved, as was written documentation. How its construction was organized, and some of the carvings of the winged bulls were shipped to Europe. Oh, wow. And the U.S. in the 19th century, but experts say they were only a fraction of the artifacts in that site. So that's really interesting. The Assyrian lion statues. Let me ask you something. So are the Assyrians, are they also the Anunnaki? Would you say that the Assyrians were also the Anunnaki? Would you? Yeah. They destroyed it. They took a bulldozer to it. Where did they get bulldozers? Yeah. The statues dated to the 8th century, and they were seated at the entrance gate of Arslan Tash, which was conquered by the Assyrians in the 9th century BC and had been a part of the Iron Age kingdom. Okay, thank you, Roswell. I was gonna call you Roswell, like you know the Roswell incident. I couldn't see your name that well. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah. So the winged bulls at Nineveh. Look at that. The winged bulls at Nineveh. Nineveh. Wasn't that where Jonah went? Wasn't that where the prophet Jonah went? And he was supposed to tell the people of Nineveh something, and he didn't want to. And then God told him that he needed to go down there and repent. He told them they got to repent, or he was going to destroy their cities. So they really did, and their city, I guess, didn't get destroyed. Something like that, you all. Something like that. I had to take this jacket off. I was having a hot flash. Is what I was. Oh my gosh. Well, yes, it just made me hot. This made me hot, you all. Yes, Nineveh. That's right, you all. We can look at this because, yeah, they got the winged bulls at Nineveh. I'm really learning something, and I'm honest with you. I'm learning something. Standing at the Nergal Gate at Nineveh for nearly 3,000 years near Mosul, Iraq, they at least partially damaged by power tools. Why that matters? Also known as Lamassu, the winged bulls date to the early 7th century BC, and they guarded a principal gateway to the Assyrian capital of Nineveh. Other winged bull statues still exist, but it was rare that they'd remain in situ as opposed to being relocated to the museums, as did at the Nergal Gate. According to UNESCO, Nineveh was one of the most important cultural centers in the ancient world, enjoying a prominent role in the field of developing human civilization, in that it was the greatest metropolis where various branches of arts and learning originated. Imagine that, you all. Imagine that. Nineveh was one of the most important cultural centers in the ancient world, enjoying a prominent role in the field of developing human civilization. And it was the greatest metropolis where various branches of arts and learning originated. That's why it got destroyed. That's what I think. So, the Mosque of Prophet Jonah's tomb. Jonah. Oh, that's really interesting. Located in Mosul near the walls of Nineveh. You all, that's sad. You know, you're destroying the walls of this place is what they're doing. It's totally destroyed the walls. Believed to be the burial place of the prophet Jonah, who was swallowed by a whale in the stories from both the Bible and the Quran. It was built on an archaeological site dating back to 8th century BC and attracted religious pilgrims from multiple faiths around the world. Things that make you go, Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. The Sufi shrines located in Aleppo in Syria. Many things were damaged. The shrines are the tombs of the Sufi saints. Shrines on the eastern Aleppo plateau have been destroyed, including the tomb of Mikam Sheikh Akil al-Manbaj, an important Muslim mystic. Tombs along the road to the Najm castle, as well as in front of the castle, have been destroyed, and those parts of the archaeological tales north of Aleppo have been bombed, you all. So that's a very important area also. Nimrod. Now, we've heard of Nimrod. Hey, wasn't the Scorpion King? There was some stuff with Nimrod and the Scorpion King. There really was. The ruins of an ancient city located on the Tigris River just south of Mosul in Iraq. The known damage at least partially ruined by the bulldozers and heavy military vehicles. Oh, that's this right here. That's that one right there, I guess. No, they don't got a picture of Nimrod. Why don't they got a picture of Nimrod? Why it matters? Nimrod was founded in the 13th century BC and was the capital of the Neo-Assyrian Empire. And the site contains the palace of Ashurnasirpal, the king of Assyria, and large numbers of relics and statues still remained in their original location. They condemned it as a war crime. That's horrible. You all, it really is horrible. I never knew all of this stuff was happening like that because, at that time, my husband was still in the military. We was over there, and I think we was in Hawaii. This is back in 2000, the early 2000s, and this stuff was breaking out. I think that's about the time it happened. Or am I thinking about something else? Am I thinking about the 1990s thing? I don't know what I'm thinking about. I know we were in the military during 2 of these types of wars over there, and it wasn't very nice at all. So the Mosul Museum, Iraq's second largest museum, the contents of at least 2 rooms were destroyed with sledgehammers and by other methods. And the museum relics was the World Heritage Site of Hatra, as well as artifacts from Nineveh. Wow, they wanted the Nineveh stuff, you all. I think they did. Though experts say at least some of the pieces destroyed were replicas, one treasure appears to have been lost. It didn't get lost. It got given to somebody else, probably as a gift. A 7th century winged bull that once stood at the gate to Nineveh. That's kind of sad. It really is. Let's get this. Hatra, a 2,300-year-old city of Mosul in Iraq. There was looting, large statues destroyed or defaced, destructions of city itself underway. Why it matters? Hatra is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It consists of a well-preserved complex of temples that blend Hellenistic and Roman architecture with Eastern decorative features. Thanks to its high walls and towers, the city withstood invasions by the Romans in AD 116 and 198. How we doing in this chat section? Are we doing great? Hello there, Dennis. Silent Whispers. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure they got lots of treasures down there underground. We got the best moderators going. We really do. We got them. We love our moderators. Absolutely, we do. Mari. Never heard of Mari. An ancient Bronze Age site located on the western banks of the Euphrates River near Syria's border with Iraq. The known damage was severely looted. It was severely looted, and satellite imagery shows over 1,200 pits dug into its once intact site. Why it matters? Remains dated 3000 BC. Large numbers of paintings. Oh, wow. Large numbers of paintings and artifacts were discovered when archaeological digs began in the 1930s. But the site's greatest treasures are thought to be thousands of clay tablets that describe the civilization's legal system, economy, and diplomacy. Did they destroy them all? Clay tablets. Hey, where was the I gotta get this back on, you all. Let me get my sweater back on. Where was the I don't think the Dead Sea Scrolls were there. Stuff like that. I really don't. Oh, that feels a lot better. Yeah. No vaults. Yeah, so let's look at this. So Tel Ajaja, Tel Ajaja, and Tel Brak. Oh, wow. I haven't seen this before. Have you all seen this one before? There's no human head on this one, but they got wings. They got wings on them. An ancient settlement mounds in northeastern Syria. Known damage is both looted, destroyed, according to the experts. The sites contained a large Assyrian statues and relics believed to be 3,000 years old, you all. 3,000 years old. So that was a lot of stuff. If you're just tuning in, I had went over to a screen is what happened. I went over to a screen and just looked. And look at these. Look at that. Wow, that's really... We can see that right there. Is that like sandstone, you think? Oh, wow, it's got faces. Is that his ears? Or is that feathers? That looks like elf ears or ears that are made of leaves and or animal ears. Does that look like animal ears, you all? Right there. You can see that? Can you see the ears on this statue? Does that look like animal ears? That's what I wonder. So you can see these ears right here. This has really got a good close-up of this right here. Oh, my goodness. Our ode a DNA. Akashic records. Let's look at the rest of the body. It's got animal feet. Elves' ears. That's what I thought, Jocelyn. Or cat ears. How can they have cat ears or elves' ears? Do you think that this one right here on the back is on the back side of that statue? Because see, we can see the ears right there is what we can see. Yeah, and hooves. They got some big hooves. And I wonder what this is right here. I think that's their hands on their legs or something. It could be their hands on their legs. It could. I'm not saying that it is. If we go over to the other side, the same thing over there. There you are. That's about the same thing right there. That's really interesting. It's nice architecture. It really is. What is this? I know somebody did a 3D printing. I was thinking they didn't have blown glass back then, did they? Blown gas. They destroyed the ancient city of Nimrod and knocked his head off. Well, they do that today. You've seen it on the news in lots of cities and stuff. They topple down the house. They tie ropes to the necks and to the statues, and they take a vehicle and or the people pull down the statues. It's still the same things happening. Handfuls of people just destroying statues and stuff. And I don't like that. I really don't. I don't think it's nice to do. If you like architecture, a ziggurat. Oh, what? If they reportedly bulldozed two of the world's, what did they do now? Two of the world's most important ancient cities. So, wow. So this is the most important ancient cities. Notice that the article is under the heading Science Alert and Humans. It's under humans right here. Humans. They have been purposefully destroyed. They were capital cities of ancient Mesopotamia, the important region where writing, farming, and civilization as we knew it arose. Wow. There's your history right there. So what happens to us, you all? What happens to us when history is destroyed? That's our history. That's where it happened. Important region where writing, farming, and civilization as we knew it arose. The most spectacular sacred structure known from ancient Mesopotamia has been bulldozed down to the ground. Well, I would say that somebody doesn't like humanity. That's what I'm beginning to believe. Someone doesn't like humanity. Some power, some interdimensional power doesn't like humanity. Yeah, because they went through a lot of efforts to destroy it. The two sites haven't been formally inspected because there was fighting going on still in 2016. They were deliberately destroyed. So the worst affected site was the Ziggurat of Nimrod, a towering terraced temple that was built nearly 2,900 years ago. Later, a different temple and a palace at Nimrod, because they weren't happy leaving the Ziggurat standing. Somebody gave them those orders. They did. Look, they flattened it. They flattened the Ziggurat. And there are hints that it was done by land clearing equipment. Completely flattened it out. Look, early October. It shows the most complete leveling of the Ziggurat mound, where the majority of the damage occurred between 31st of August the 2nd and October of 2016. They were still doing it back then. Nimrod was also known as Kala in the book of Genesis, and it was established in the 13th century BC near the Tigris River, 20 miles south of Mosul. Nimrod became the capital of Neo-Assyrian Empire under the reigns of Ashurnasirpal II. Wow. It was 200 feet by 61 meters at its base. This is the reconstructed ziggurat elsewhere in Iraq, showing what the structure might have looked like in its prime. Well, what was at the top? Was it a sacrificial area or something? Could have been. It was in quite good shape even before the attack. Wow, it stood 140 feet tall. Look, when this person excavated it, he said it was the most spectacular sacred structure known from ancient Mesopotamia. Now you can see it before it was flattened. That's what they did to it. Totally flattened it out. It's like, thanks a lot. You flattened out what it looked like that. Then they just, could you imagine how long it took to bulldoze that thing down if it was 200 feet tall and bulldoze it down to the ground? How would they have done that? You know they sat and watched them over there. They watched them on their satellites. All the countries had views. And they watched them, because those satellites, years ago, they could come down. They could get as close to you as about this much. They could read a quarter in your hand. That's how close they could get. They sat with their satellites and they watched all that happen. I'm sure they could have stopped it if they wanted to. Somebody could have stopped it, but they didn't stop it. So it's not clear why they wanted to destroy the ziggurat. Although they do have, look how this is written, although they do have a history of destroying archaeological sites in the areas that they hold. They were the highest point in the surrounding area. So that's possible they could have flattened it for a strategic reason. Oh my goodness gracious. They said it doesn't make sense. The Cultural Heritage Initiative, the academic director said it doesn't make sense, a whole lot of sense to bother bulldozing it to get a better view. It was done deliberately. Who paid? Where did they get their money? Where did they get their funding? I really wonder where they got their funding, you all. Where did they get their funding? To do this type of missions and jobs over there, I'm sure they needed a lot of backing, a lot of money. Wow. Look, so Nimrod was since liberated, but the archaeologists haven't had a check to inspect the site to see what was left. Because then they put the area with IEDs and mines. That's about right. Yeah, you all. So that's so sad. It really is sad. The winged bull. It was destroyed and bulldozed. Well, I think that's a lot of stuff went on, you all. A whole lot. I never knew the half of it. All I remember is there was all these big mountains, and engraved within the mountain, carved into the mountain, was beautiful architecture, and they destroyed it. I remember seeing that. I really do. I remember seeing all of that. These are just like the same pictures over and over and over and over is what they are. They're gonna knock it all down. Wow. I wonder if they knocked that thing down right there. You think they knocked that building down? I think I saw where they knocked down a mosque, something like that also. Why did they destroy Palmyra? You know, there is a town, Palmyra, not too far from me out in the country. And look, this place is called Palmyra. Wonder what the significance is for Palmyra. Palmyra. What does Palmyra mean? Meaning, So we can see what it might mean. I don't know what it means. They're really not saying. It's just about the city. Does every country or every state have a town named Palmyra in it? A girl's name? A palm tree? Okay, it's a palm tree. Okay. All right. That's oh, the city of the palm trees. Okay, the city of the palm trees, you all. That's what it meant. There's really not too much more to it. Let me put this back to me. Let me come over here. And let's see what you all got going on. I think I'm done showing pictures. I really do, because it's in the past. Things got destroyed in the past, and things are still getting destroyed. Maybe not on that scale, but other things are getting destroyed. And it affects humanity as a whole. It doesn't matter where you live. It really doesn't. It doesn't matter. None of it matters. It doesn't matter what part of the world you're from. It affects you one way or another. Oh, Stephanie, thank you. Yeah. King of Ahuka Mundo, Apple Brooks, Bang Bang Mucka Bang. 19. Yes. I love you all too. Who was the oldest person according to the Bible? It was at Methuselah, 969 years or something like that. Old. And then why did they cut the lifespan? See, people, it's documented, they lived a long time back then. They lived for years and years and years, kind of like an immortal. Could you imagine being that old? Around 969 years old. I wonder if your body aged like it ages now. I wonder if it does. Looked like a dragon. Well, it kind of looked like it at a point, that Japan thing. Yeah, 969 years. And yeah, Enoch, 28,000 years. What did I read that word 20? Is you saying 28,000 or are you saying 28 million years? Well, 28,000. Well, I think of 26,000 years. I think I read something about, was that shark bone or tiger tooth bone, some kind of saber tooth bone or something that they made into a tool in Australia? They got bulldozed down. They got blown up. That 46,000-year-old thing, and it was like 28,000. Something was 28,000 years old, and then something was like 4,000 years old, like a belt woven out of human hair. 100,000 years. There's no telling how long you all have lived. If you believe in a reincarnation or life after death, I know that this life is not the only life. I know that when my spirit leaves this body, my spirit's going back. This body may be no more, but my spirit's going to live on. So if your spirit lives on, are you going to get another body? Are you? Oh, my goodness gracious. Yeah. Yeah, many are reincarnated. And I know that's taboo and people don't want to hear about it, but there is some proof in it. You know, you have little children, little bitty children under the age of 5, and they have memories of being someone else right before they came to who they are now. And they even documented it. So there's something to it. There really is something to it. There's too many recollections of people remembering past lives. Yeah. Hello there, country boy. Thank you, Rainy Mac. Do I know anything about the Essenes? Essenes. I heard about the Essenes. When did I hear about that? I think I heard about it recently. Do you all know anything about the Essenes? It sounds very familiar to me. It really does. And I can't remember it right now. Yeah. Four Paths Lives. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah. The Dead Sea Scrolls are kept by the Essenes. They were a Jewish sect. That's interesting. It really is interesting. I like history. I like ancient history. I really do. I don't like Western history. That's, to me, that's boring. I don't like to watch Westerns. Never did like it. And I think that's one of the shows I never did like. That type of whatever. But I like real old things. Gina, you're a what it seems. I don't get that. You're a what it seems. You had dreams and premonitions of the ascension. Yeah, you all, if you're just tuning in, I just finished looking at destruction of the history, what happens to us when history is destroyed. And they say it's been, what, 2 resets or 3 resets already to Earth? 3 resets that have occurred. Susan B., honey, hello. Yeah, a destroyed lion. Yeah, and if the Anunnaki were here, that wouldn't be happening. But see, they can do all they want when the Anunnaki's gone. But what happens when the Anunnaki comes back? What happens when they do come back? You think they know that they're coming back? My eye is itching, you all. Yeah. 1776. Look it up in Gematria. There are people who are really good at Gematria. And that's interesting. We fell asleep consciously. Hello, Paula. If you're all just tuning in. I heard that there are some Anunnaki princes or gods and goddesses on this earth still, the bloodline. I heard that. Because there's a lot of people who claim to be of the Anunnaki bloodline. And you know, I don't know if that's the RH factor, the RH negative or positive and stuff. Yeah, you all hit that like button. Enuma. Who is Enuma? Enuma Ellis. Enuma Ellis. Enuma Ellis. Enuma. Enuma Ellis. Oh, okay. So we can look at that. Let's look at this. It's the Babylon creation myth. It was recovered by English archaeologist Austin Henry Layard in the ruined library of Ashurbanipal at Nineveh. A form of the myth was first published by English Assyriologist. Oh, that's really neat. English Assyriologist. Active research and further excavations led near completion and the tests and improved it. I don't think it was a myth. Do you think it was a myth? Yeah. Oh, I thought it said the emerald tablets. The emerald tablets. Went on high. The story of the... Oh, okay. The Enuma Elish was the 7 tablets of creation. It's the Mesopotamian creation myth whose title is derived from the opening line of Peace When on High. The myth tells the story of the great god Marduk's victory over the forces of chaos and his establishment of order at the creation of the world. I've not heard of that before. That's really interesting. It really is. So it was recovered in the ruined library of Mosul and Iraq. Imagine that, you all. Thank you. So that's... it's the oldest written creation myth, but it's not a myth. It's famous for its beauty and divine laws. So that was in the... Was that in that area where they went in and took stuff? Is that what it was during that time? Because I'm sure there was more of a purpose. Gina, you country boy, you wonder if there's more scientific findings for the Jewish Messiah, the Nasha, and the rabbis priests were talking about a few weeks ago. I haven't looked into that any lately. I haven't. Yeah. It's a interesting topic to follow back up on. It is. To make sure we don't know how powerful we are. That's right, Rennie Mac. That's right, Inky's son. There's this new Marvel movie. My husband was watching it, and I thought, well, I might sit and watch some of it. And then, like at the very beginning, they talked about looking for the emerald tablets of Thoth. I thought, why did they mention the emerald tablets in that movie? Because movies have clues in them. Is what they have. Anubis, Anunnaki. Yeah, the Anunnaki. Some people think the ships that I had captured are the Anunnaki ships. There are a group of people who think that they are the Anunnakis. Because when they came in, it was really spectacular. It really was. Right after the observatory shut down and I first started taking my pictures, that's when some ships appeared. And then I just took them every day. And then over the months, they came in until there were thousands of them showing up in my camera. I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it. But they're here. They're interdimensional, but yet they can come out whenever they want. So that's going to be interesting to see how the future plays out with each passing day. Yeah. When I mentioned the Anunnaki descendants living here on the earth, it has me wondering if both aliens on earth and living elsewhere will indeed be revealed to us soon. It is quite possible. It really is quite possible. Let's see. Cleopatra and the golden eggs. This is interesting. When I was filming Plasma back in Ukraine, there was a golden egg. A golden egg appeared in this one area that I was finding the plasma in a lot. It was perfect. Perfect golden egg appeared in the plasma. Yeah. They want the chaos and the emeralds. Well, also I think in the emerald tablets, I think Thoth said, or Thoth, I forget how to say it, his ship is under one of the great pyramids, buried beneath the great pyramids, and that is to be brought out again when the invaders come. He's going to bring his ship out when the invaders come from somewhere. I forget from where they come, but that ship's supposed to come back out. And there's supposed to be an invasion with it. The emerald tablets was on Sonic the Hedgehog. You talking about Sonic the Hedgehog? See, we got this apple honey. Applebrooks honey. Hello, Applebrooks honey. Yeah, I pushed a button. That's exactly right. I sure did. The chaos emeralds are inside certain race. It's in their soul. That's interesting. It really is. Yes, it is thought somebody's around 9 feet tall. I'm not sure who Penny Bradley is, the Andromedan. There's a lot of people that people say, Gina, you should watch, or have you seen, or no, I haven't, never heard of them or watched them or read them. Yeah. Oh, you love learning nights like this. Yeah, I like learning about archaeology. I wanted to be an archaeologist when I was in high school. I really did. But then I heard you had to go to college for like 10 years or something like that. Evelyn, yeah, that dragon was pretty impressive. They're being kept under guard in Colorado, the Emerald Tablets. Yeah. That's great. Well, you all, let me see how long I've been on here. Oh my, I've been on here 1 hour and 1 minute and 40 seconds. So that's quite a long time. I probably better get off of here because this is a long video for somebody to watch. It really is. Kaab. I think you're right. Destroying artifacts. Yes. Whoopsie. Well, I am going to go. Thank you all for being on here. Yeah, it's good. It's great. It is good and it's great. Thank you, moderators, for being on here. Thank you all for all your comments and bringing up things that some of us, like me, I've never heard of. And it's interesting how there's so much information out there that a lot of you all have. And it's good to bring all this information together and share it with other people. It is. So with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello, from my heart to yours. Love you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And thank you all so much for watching this video. I know it was a little bit long, but it's good. I like it. I like learning. I really do. And I like looking back in history and looking at the architecture. Even though it got destroyed, I still liked looking at it and reading about it, about the significance of it and how it really did have an impact on humanity as a whole. So have a wonderful rest of your day.